It's live. All right, looks like we're live. If somebody can, let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me and if the sound sounds okay. I'm on my laptop today, so I don't know if it sounds all right or if I need to speak up. Looks like SRT's here already, co-creator. Um, co-creator says we'll be hoping we fill that July 1st gap and gamma squeeze, then short squeeze this week. Dennis D's in the house. What's up? Says miss you at the round table. Yeah, I'm on vacation. I know they did a round table on it was on Discord though, right? Not on video. But yeah. I couldn't make it. I'm in Monterey right now. I'm sitting in a hotel lobby in this little room they call the library. So I don't know. There's like music playing. You could hear people outside. I didn't really plan on this, and I don't have a mic for my laptop. So if the sound's bad and it doesn't work out, maybe I'll cut this short this morning. But you guys let me know if you can hear me okay. Looks like Michael's here. Good morning, Michael. Let's see. Just trying to catch up. JF, what's up? Um, Looks like you guys were talking a lot before I got in. I'm trying to catch up with everything real quick. Um, Stars, good morning. Levi's in the house. Christo, what's up? Good morning. Okay, Dennis says it sounds good. Everyone says it sounds good. All right, cool. Trenton, what's up? Good morning, Trenton. Um, Michael says, "Where's the wine glass?" Yeah, so we went to the Niner game on Saturday. Took the boys, just my wife and the two kids, and it was a preseason game. But we got a hotel room in Santa Clara just so we wouldn't have to drive home because it was a night game. And then we ended up just kind of deciding to shoot from Santa Clara to Monterey just for the night. So we spent the day yesterday at Monterey. When I get done here, as soon as they wake up, we're probably gonna go check out the aquarium and then head home. Monterey's about maybe 2.5 hour drive, 3 hour drive from where we're at. But I don't know. Should be fun. We had some fun yesterday. Glad to hear the sound is okay though. SRT says vacation after first week of work. Well, I think I said it on my last stream too, and I don't think I should be able to get in trouble for this. But so I had a headache and everything on Thursday, so I called in sick. But they won't let me go back to work now until I get a negative COVID test. So I told the HR at my work that I was fine. Told them I wasn't sick, and they're waiting. I'm just waiting on my COVID results. So I figured if I'm off, I might as well take advantage of it. But yeah, I'm ready to go back to work too, because it's only like the first couple. But today would be the fourth day, and I got too much stuff going on that I got to do, but they won't let me, so it is what it is. What's up? Good morning. Cuckoo Birds in the house. What's up? 6'8" Spindrift. Um, Nathan says, good morning, Clove Nation. Uh, Nathan's a Niner fan. Right on. I like it. Gunslinger, good morning. All right, so I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm on Weeble this morning because I'm on my laptop, but let's see what we got here. So it looks like CLOV kind of got hammered down right off the. Where's 1 a.m.? This was right around here is when this, after hours turned into pre-market. We shot up to 846 and then all the way down to 810. Um, Still trading below, about 5 cents below where we closed at on Friday. Friday was a very, negative day. I think we dropped almost 9%. after having a nice big run on Wednesday and even better run on Tuesday after hours. So shorts came at the stock pretty hard last week after we had those amazing earnings. I'm not going to really get too much into earnings just because I'm sure most of you have been watching, but if you didn't, we had a what 140% increase in revenue, um, doubled lives under management quarter to quarter, and basically the company said that they're on track to have Clover Assistant manage over $1 billion, and those were the big 3 points or takeaways that I took from it that shows the positive direction that we're moving in. Um, and the market reacted well. The stock took off. We got all the way up above $10 at one point in pre-market on Wednesday, and again, heavily manipulated. We saw the stock come crashing back down. Again, though, I mean, even in pre-market, they can't get it below 8. 8's the floor. We're kind of bouncing around here, and I know I've said this before, but it's almost like a spring getting compressed and compressed and compressed. And I feel like the more that they keep pushing at this thing, um, you know, at some point it's just going to explode. It's going to make it explode higher. The harder they push it down, especially as the company continues to grow organically. Everything I just talked about with earnings, I think is just going to eventually, you know, continue to catch on in the market. We saw analysts up. One analyst this weekend on Seeking Alpha put out a great article. I don't know if anyone got a chance to read it. Um, if not, when I get home, one of the things I'm going to make an update video and I'll go over that as well. But it's on Seeking Alpha, and the title of it was "The Shorts Will Burn." So, I mean, kind of a bullish article in my opinion. But basically, um, the guy's just pointing out how uh, the Hindenburg report was BS. Kind of the same stuff we've been talking about. It's been a year and a half, and it wasn't even like a DOJ investigation. It was an inquiry. We haven't heard anything about it at any point. Um, after a year and a half. And the other interesting thing that he brought up, that I think Al Trades brought up recently too, was you know, kind of the short thesis. What a lot of people were talking crap about CLOV was that they had this one, um, what was it, like one fine for misconduct, and they're blowing it into this big thing. And I know Al talked about it a lot, but this article did as well. Basically, like Humana and some of the other big players, um, United Health, they've been fined a ton of times. I mean, you look back and they've been fined multiple times, hundreds of times per year for misconduct. And really, essentially, that's what the Clover Assistant is meant to prevent, in my eyes, right? It wants to um, help make sure that people aren't, overbilling, that they're coming in with the right diagnosis. It's going to keep everybody in line. It's going to help doctors be more effective. It's going to help patients be more healthy, and then it's going to make sure that insurers um, aren't getting overbilled or aren't overbilling and that sort of thing. And so um, I think as more people start to see that and start to realize, not only um, the good that the company's doing, but also the power of this Clover Assistant of the AI. I think that's where and again, as more investors start coming on board, we're probably going to see some new updated price targets coming in soon. Because even that new article said that they are putting Clove at a outperform rating, but They didn't release a price target. I don't think so. We should start seeing updated price targets too. I think the most current price targets were somewhere in like the 9 to 10 range, which is laughable considering comparing Clove to other companies. So as we start getting some real price targets here, I think that things are really going to organically start to change too, and that could be the catalyst itself that pushes shorts out. Um, I got way behind in the chat too. Let me see what's going on. Um, Coach, what are your thoughts on NKLA? I don't know anything about it. I'm not even gonna lie. Nothing. Co-creator says, "Good morning, crypto." Yeah, I have some XRP. I think I've mentioned that on here before. I don't usually do too much crypto, but I do have some XRP because some friends talked me into buying some, and it's been doing amazing. And actually, it's funny because I was talking to one of my buddies at the Niner game the other night, and I might actually start covering XRP. Making some videos on it because I've been doing a lot more research on it, and I really do think like even where it's at right now, it's a great play and it's a great kind of long term play too. So, um, but all the other crypto, I haven't been doing much with. I did see that like Bitcoin was up huge. The Dogecoin was up to like 31 cents, I think, when I checked this morning. So a lot of the crypto is doing good right now, but I usually don't do much of it except for, like I said, I got some XRP right now. Um, David says, "Good morning. Saved a bit of my coffee to toast you." I didn't get any yet. I wish I would have. I was trying to find a place in this hotel where I can actually come do this without waking my kids up. And so I came down to the lobby. I was walking around and there was no the coffee shop. I don't think it was open yet. Um, Dennis says 63 watching. I know I'm late on that too. We got 17 likes now. Thank you, Dennis, though. I appreciate it. Dev's in the house. What's up? Chef Daddy, what's up? Good morning. Mike in DC, good morning. I know I said hello to Michael already. Let's see. Dan's here. What's up, Dan? Monday's off, yeah. Justin says red day on Monday. Super weird. I think we'll bounce back. I really do. I think just looking at you know where we're at right now, that we're getting pushed down. We closed on Friday at 822. Um, so we're down 5 cents, but I have a feeling like once the market opens, we had a lot of good news over the weekend. With that article still kind of coming in. I mean, we're cheaper right now than we were, I think, pre-earnings. So the stock is really cheap, and I think we're going to see more people. We had people that had the entire weekend to kind of soak in that information. My assumption is at least we're going to see a lot of buying pressure coming into this stock this morning. Um, Volume wise, you know what? I'm just going to check on my phone because it's a lot easier that way. For me, at least, it looks like right now, volume, we're at 652,000. So, not bad. In comparison, we talked about almost every day kind of checked. I know the last couple of days, we may have been, I think, over a million at least in pre market by this time. Um, my memory's kind of off because I started the last two streams at 5, and so I don't remember where we were at 6 anymore. Um, but Al dug up Humana and United Health's fines in dollar amounts. They were huge. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, and that's part of the short thesis on CLOV is that they're saying, hey, look, they got fined and all this other stuff. And it's, one case of misconduct in comparison to these other health insurance companies that have hundreds is really nothing. Let's see here. Kevin says new SEC release on the CLOV site today. Yeah, I was trying to read that before we went live. It looked to me, and I could be completely wrong, but I was trying to figure out what it was, and it looked like it had to do with the is it the CFO? The CFO that's outgoing because today I think his last day is either coming up or it just passed. Because they had announced this. This was old news. They had announced it, I think, about a month and a half ago that he was gonna be leaving, and the date he was gonna be leaving, and that was kind of the speculation as to why they moved earnings up to last week so that he could be a part of the earnings call. But I'm pretty sure, from what I kind of glanced through, that SEC noticed had to do with him leaving. So nothing major there. It just looked like kind of probably something they had to file, and that was old news. KLF, what's up? Good morning. Justin, good morning. Um, Peter, Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Alex? Polygon has been doing nice for me. I don't know nothing about that. Is that a crypto too? I have no clue. Um, I'm way down on SafeMoon. Yeah, you know what? I lied a little while ago. I have XRP. I also have a little bit of SafeMoon too. I forgot all about that until you just said that, because you got to do these things on different wallets, right? So, um, again, I've never been into crypto. I've always had Bitcoin, for other reasons, and just kind of added on to it when I could. And I could talk for days about Bitcoin and why I got into Bitcoin and why I still think that Bitcoin is the one that, I don't know how much higher it'll actually go, but I don't think that you'll ever see like a huge rug pull with Bitcoin. Um, but anyways, so I've never really gotten into all these other ones. I've always had friends that tell me get into this, get into that, and I never have. Um, but XRP seems pretty intriguing, and I had a lot of friends telling me about it. And, people I really trust, and they gave me some pretty good advice in the past. And so I bought a little XRP, not a ton. I wish I would have bought more. Um, but even prior to that, like way back, I mean, SafeMoon was the price on that's ridiculous. It's like 0.0000000, whatever it is. So, um, and you had to get a different wallet for that. And so I bought a little bit of it a while. I haven't even looked at it. I don't even know what the price is. I don't have that much of it, but I did grab a little bit just because some friends were saying, this is something that could take off. But I don't even know anything about SafeMoon. Crypto says XRP is the move. Back the truck up at 26. Wow. Okay. Uh, 26. That was cheap. I want to say when I bought it, it was 70 something. Um, Chris, when we move, we'll be able to all vacation like Coach. I usually don't go on vacation that often. This was just one of those things. Like my kids start school next Monday. Okay, so it was kind of one of those things where it was like, you know what? My wife had taken the day off work because I was supposed to be at work, and she was going to stay home with the kids. And then we had the rest of the week figured out. We're going to go here, there, whatever. But she had Monday off. Now I was forced with Monday off. The kids were already off. They're not back at school yet, so we just kind of a last minute thing. Um, did the stupid thing and chased NAOV this morning. Think it is back up. Let me see. I don't know anything about that one, but I just want to see. Hmm. I mean, it looks like I don't know when you got in, but I mean, if you got in kind of like up here and you're saying because it came down, it looks like it's holding VWAP right now. It might be looking to kind of, go on another run here. Hard to say though, because it is up huge already, 20%. But um, I don't know. The chart doesn't look bad to me. It doesn't look like it's tanking right now. It held VWAP pretty well. Um, so yeah, I hope you do good with that one, Dan. I'll leave that one up there for a little bit. If you're gonna research crypto, look into ADA. Also, I think you'll like what they're doing with their technology development. I mentioned this to you in THB a couple months ago. ADA. You know what? I might have even when you did put it in the chat, I probably thought you were talking about a stock. I'm gonna write it down though. I got notes on my phone right now. Normally, when I'm in my office, I have a little pad and paper and I write stuff down on it. But yeah, I'll check that out for sure, Michael. Eric says it's 3:13 here in Poland, but good morning, Coach. Good morning, Eric. Um, I'm assuming 3 in the afternoon, right? Yeah, it's got to be. All right, let's see. Scotty's in the house. If anybody missed, Scotty came on Friday. That was fun. And then Then Scotty went on Tar Heel show too. Scotty had a lot to drink on Friday. That was fun though, Scotty. I had a great time, man. Scotty helped me kick off the weekend. Got me fired up on our show, and so that was a lot of fun. Cuckoo Bird from the Alpha article: United held 316 records with 610 million penalties. Humana 72 violations with $47 million in penalties. Um, yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously, Clover's a smaller company. You know, you got to look at that too, and that's why they have less. But the whole Clover Assistant, that's what it's designed to do, right? Is to prevent a lot of these things from happening. So that should mean that Clover has less penalties for misconduct and that sort of thing. At least that's my understanding of it. Let's see. August 13th was his last day. Okay, you're talking about the CFO now. I got you. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the SEC filings were about. Um, Mike says he caught it XRP at 22. Um, let's see. It's 700,000 volume pre-market good. Yeah, I mean that's higher than usual. So if we go back to like pre-earnings, right? So last Monday, last Tuesday, around this time we were looking at 100,000 in volume. So yeah, that definitely shows that there's interest in this stock, and this stock's getting traded a lot more than it was before. It's hard to compare it day to day though, because there could be a day where we have 2 million in volume in pre-market, um, and then the day ends up 50 million on the day, and there could be a day like today, and we end up with 100 million on the day. It's really hard, but usually when you see a nice big uptick in pre-market volume, that usually indicates you'll see a lot of volume later in the day, and we are higher today right now. Um, I drove a Zamboni. I have $9 calls expiring this week. Break even is 90 cents. So you needed to get to 990. Um, Man, I don't know. I mean, here's the deal. Uh, Potentially, yeah. I mean, I think this stock has the potential to be, close above 10, close above 12, or even hit the gamma squeeze this week. I mean, the option chain's loaded up for this week where we could end up on a huge run. Um, but, at the same time, this Max Payne has really been killing us lately, right? Like every week, even last week, we hit as high as 10, and what ended up happening, we got pushed right back down to 850. Damn, it's getting loud in here right now. Um, so, I mean, it's really hard to say. I mean, do I think you'll be able to get past 10? Because really, you want to get to 10. I would assume, or I want to say, I'm hoping that we can, right? But there's no way of knowing. That's the problem with options too, right? So like when I buy these things, um, I try to go with the cheap ones, and if it happens, it happens. It doesn't, it doesn't. Because I have my more long term position. Um, it's kind of a tough one too, right? Because if all of a sudden we get a nice little run to like 1050, you're going to be in the money, and then it puts you in that bind to where it's like, oh man, do I hold this in case we go higher? Because the gamma squeeze can really kick off and send this thing to 43, but then all of a sudden we could get hammered back down like last week. So, man, I don't know. I wish I could tell you more, but I don't have a crystal ball. Um, yeah, that's what I was worried about too. He says I can faintly hear a song in the background. Yeah, I don't know if this video is gonna make it. I figured I'd just do the stream, and more than likely it'll end up getting pulled down because there is some music. I don't know if that's the song you hear, but there's music playing in the background, and I think if it picks up, YouTube will actually take the video down. So um, I don't know if I'll be on here too much longer. I might just once I'm done, they'll probably pull it off the air. Let's see. I'm gonna try to catch up. Big Daddy Roro, what's up? Um, Ecom. My kids slept in until 9, so I slept in until 9. Yeah, nice. I like that. Usually I can't sleep in. Yesterday I actually slept in the most I've slept in a long time. I slept in till about 8 o'clock, and that's late for me. Um, like even this morning. I mean, we were. I don't know if anyone's ever been to Monterey, but we were out at the wharf last night and having some drinks, and walked back to the room. And I woke up at 4 a.m. again today. I just can't help it. I think my body's just, no matter what, I get up early every day. Trent says Glassnode has a free academy to help learn crypto. Okay. Um, I think I'm almost caught up with you guys. Dave says audio sounds fine. Right on, Dave. That's cool. I was worried. I was really nervous, because it's like there's noise happening right outside of me. I'm in a hotel lobby right now. Wish I could like turn it around and show you guys, but I'm just sitting in the lobby, sitting there talking. So there's like people walking by, cleaning up. I mean, it's early here. It's 6:30 in the morning. So Target Short Seller says he just put out a new video. You guys go check out his videos too. Target Short Sellers has a ton of great information. I'm always watching you, Michael. Whenever you put something else out, I got you. I got you. The little bell turned on, so when you release a video, I'm always getting it. And Target Short Seller drops some great knowledge, though. You guys, if you haven't already, go give them a subscribe. Um, Soft Bunnies in the house. Where do I go to every Monday? But Nathan says 9. My kids have never slept that late. No shit. Yeah, like I got my oldest son. He's 9 years old right now. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every morning, and I think that's why I'm kind of conditioned now to wake up earlier than hell. Because sometimes 6 a.m. sleeping in for him. I used to have to tell him to go back to bed. Like, dude, it's 5 in the morning. You need to go back to sleep. And he's still like that. He's up every morning. If he sleeps in till 6, it's like, or past 6, me and my wife are like, hey, what's wrong with him? Uh, he must be sick. So yeah, the other one on the other hand, my younger one, he's 7 years old. He's always slept. We gotta like wake him up and pull him out of bed to go to school and stuff. Um, all right, let me see. Equitab's in the house. I wonder, is my co-creator saying 824? I hope I'm on live chat and not I think I might be on top chat. Let me see if I can change that right now, because it seems like the chat's not coming in order. Um, I drove his Zamboni. Your son will be a day trader. You know what? He's hella into it. He really is. He's always asking me about my stocks and everything. And the whole reason that I got my kids, yeah, the one that wakes up early, the one that's 9, he's really sharp. He's pretty smart. Does really great in school, and he's always asking like these questions that you wouldn't expect to hear from a kid his age, and he always has been. So I'm I'm really excited about just I mean, but he's into this stuff too, and that was what prompted me to set my kids up with these brokerage accounts. I know I've talked about it before, but he was like all into like money, like saving money and stuff. And so he had money from his birthday. His birthday's in November, and then Christmas had passed. So people give him a card with some cash, or maybe he got some for his birthday and all this. So he had $300, and I think he was watching Teen Titans Go, and Teen Titans Go was talking about 401ks or something, and so he started asking me these questions, and then I started showing him on the computer, like, yeah, this is. And basically started talking to him about how like putting money in stocks if you're not going to spend it and you want to save it, like, you know, the returns you can get and everything else. And he gave me his $300 and said, you know, he didn't want to buy toys with it. He didn't want to do anything else. He wanted to put it in the stock market. And shit, I think he's up to like $2,400 now. Last time I checked, just off that 300 that he put in. You know, obviously he's not trading it. I've been putting it into different stuff and moving it around. But um, you know, it's been about a year and a half. I mean, and he's almost at like 8 or 9 times returns off his $300. So um, yeah, he's doing pretty good with it. All right, so it's 6:30. Market opened. It looks like we opened at right around 8:20, and I am going to jump on my Schwab app real quick because I actually got some dry powder in this morning, um, and I wanted to get some more. I put an order in. Just want to see if it filled. Yes, it did. All right, cool. See if I can fix this. All right, there we go. Just trying to get it zoomed in on everything so we can kind of see. Wow. All right. Ecom says same with my 10-year-old son. He's up at 6 a.m. watching YouTube. Yeah. I hate when they watch YouTube too, which I think is funny now that I'm like, you know, but I always complain at them, you know, because they're just watching like mindless stuff, just, you know, the dumbest things in the world. And it's like, and now we have Xfinity, uh, and so they actually have YouTube on the TV. So instead of like watching a TV channel, they can switch it. They could like search up YouTube with the remote, and that drives me crazy too. You know, just hearing the YouTube going. Like if I'm in the room, if I come in the kitchen and I'm making them food or doing something else, I make them turn it off. It drives me nuts. Um, let's see. Fluffer's in the house. What's up? Are we going to the moon today? I you know, I really thought that there was a setup last week. You know, if you look at like when we did that last gamma squeeze, we had a good day on the 7th and then a gap up off that day. So I was fully expecting, like after earnings on that Wednesday, we had that nice run. That on Thursday we were going to gap up again and have that day, and it didn't happen. But I think that we may need something similar to that, though, just to get us past that point to where it's like the breaking point where the market makers can't keep up, like to pin us down. So I think it might be like a 2 or 3 day thing, where you know potentially, let's say we were able to close today at 9, and it doesn't have to be 9, but I'm just, you know, we get up to 9, that's like a 10% day. And then, you know, a little bit more of a run in after hours, because then what happens too, right? Then more people are talking about it, it's getting more popular. Then you get the FOMO buyers would start coming in tomorrow in pre-market, and now all of a sudden, you know, where we close the day at 9, we close after hours at maybe 10, and then in pre-market it runs up to 12, you know, and now we're opening the following day at 12. That's kind of where I see like how we can get that big jump to really kickstart it. um, so I think it might be like a 2 day process, and that's really just basing it off of last time. I mean, I'm sure that doesn't matter really. We could just start blowing upwards right now and take off. But um, let's see. It's gingivitis. Dad, have we mooned yet? Coach P, no son. And the son says, Diamond Hands, Daddy. Yeah. Nah, he doesn't. He's not. He's not really following. Like, I don't even think he doesn't even know what stocks he's into. He's not like into it that much yet. But I'd say like maybe like it used to be every week, but now like once a month he'll say like, "Hey, how are my stocks doing?" So right now he's more of a passive investor. Like he just wants to check in. But he does have some CLOV. He's got some AVXL, I think. I try to put him in like hyper growth stocks where you know because he can't even sell his stocks until, or not sell, but he can't realize those gains and actually like cash out until he's 18. So I'd rather put him in something where patience is the virtue, right? Like, you know, Clove, 10 years from now when he's able to sell, should be trading for, I would imagine by that time would have stock splits and everything else. And I mean, just those shares alone, he's going to make a killing off. But try to get him into more like plays like that. Dan says, everyone is here. I miss seeing you all every day. I'm the same way. It's such a crazy feeling to like, feel like these are all people that we haven't actually met. But I was telling my wife this the other day, and even some friends of mine, like, I really look forward to like having my coffee and hanging out, with the kind of the same group every morning before I start my day. Now it's going to be before I go to work. Um, but yeah, no, it's really cool. We got kind of like the same little group every morning, and it's a really cool feeling. Mike, what's up? Good morning, Mike. Trent says, how old are your kids? 9 and 7. Getting ready to be 10 and 8. Their birthdays are in September and November, so we're coming up on both their birthdays right now. Yeah, co-creator says I totally miss you all every weekend. It really is a strange phenomenon for me at least. I totally understand exactly what you guys mean. It's like it's the family. I look forward to it. Um, Ecom says awesome, coach. We do the same. We put 12,000 with a 100% match in a college savings plan with our business. Gives us an extra 25K tax free every year for the work he does. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so I'd like to put more in, and I probably will. We do what's the other one called? I think it's a 529. We have one of those set up for the kids, and those are interesting too. So you can put money in there as much as you want, but the kids can only use it for education. And so we started one of those for them probably like 3 or 4 years ago. And no, it had to be longer. I want to say they were 4 and 2 when we did it. Either way, we've been putting money into those, but with those, um, it's like they have to use it for education. Otherwise, they can gift it to a family member to use for education. But that money's tax free as long as it goes to pay for education. So that's another one we've been doing too. But I want to start getting more into this brokerage account. Um, I keep forgetting. I keep telling my wife like, yeah, we should throw a little bit of money in there every month, and I just keep forgetting to do it. Um, Star says wait until he learns about capital gains. Let's see here. Let me catch up. I'm way behind. Uh, I hate when I get behind in the chat. It's kind of the same thing because then I feel like I'm missing out. Board says we're definitely breaking from AMC and GME this morning, and I know that's late too because that was when we were up here and these ones were going down. It looks like, I mean, we got pushed down again down to 8, but we held 808, and that might be the same mark that we had hit earlier, 810. So we hit 810 in pre-market a couple times. Um, let's see. So right now AMC's down 1%, CLOV down 1.5%, GME down 6% or 0.6. Um, get this out of the way. There we go. Just check on the market real quick. Big Daddy wrote same with my kids. Yelled at them for years for watching streamers. Now they've been giving me mad shit since I've been watching. Yeah, it's like, but I'm like, because that's all they do. They just sit there and like even in high school, um, I was shocked when I first started teaching 6 years ago, because I have my classroom was like kids work on. They have these Macs in there, and it's connected to the internet, so I'll walk around the class, and I was just shocked how many kids are just sitting there watching other people play video games on YouTube. I mean, obviously you're telling them to turn it off and everything, but if you're not walking around the room, they'll get on the internet and they're on YouTube and they're just watching other people play video games. It's crazy. I don't know, it baffles me. um, let's see here. Peter says by 7:30, my son's already on a scooter. I wonder how he resolved morning ride with his school schedule. Are FTDs released tonight? I want to say it's tomorrow. I could be wrong, but it is coming up any day, Thomas. So it's because it's every 15 days we get that report. And so this next report would be the latter half of July. So we'll be able to see like basically July 16th through the 30th or 31st, like the second half of July. And it should be like any day. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but it's going to be one of the two. Um, Michael said, not to be a negative Nancy, I feel that today will be a down day across the market. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could see that as well. The S&P's down about $2. So I always keep this one up just because I feel like a lot of times, if it's going up, if it's going down, it'll pull a lot of stocks with it. I know other people watch other stuff, but um, to me, I've had the most success, like especially when I was day trading, watching the SPY. Sometimes you can see big moves before they happen when you're paying attention to it. So that's one that I've always watched. Does a stock have more ability to move naturally if the stock doesn't have options? Um, I think maybe you're getting at like the whole Max Payne thing right now. See, I don't think that market wide stocks always close at Max Payne, but market wide stocks don't have loaded option chains either. Does that make sense? So, if you pull up like a Disney or who knows, an Amazon or any just your regular run of the mill stock. I mean, stocks go on runs every day. Every day you see stocks that'll just explode, um, and have big gainer days and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think that they all necessarily fit at Max Payne all the time, like get pinned down to it. But when you have like a really popular stock like ours, um, and a ton of open interest on the option chain, that's when I think you'll start to see the crookedness come out and the manipulative stuff. I think all stocks are probably manipulated in some way, right? But some are manipulated a lot worse than others, and so that's where I think um, yeah. So I mean, to answer your question, potentially, yeah, because I think we are getting manipulated because of the options chain for sure. Um, but it's part of it, and that's also what allows it to move so rapidly as well. Pablo said, I feel like we're gonna get murked today. Um, they can't. I don't. My thoughts. I mean, I guess what are we at right now? Down almost 2%. I don't think they could drive it much lower. We got way. Look at this. I mean, at $8, we have a 74,000 buy wall. And at 801, 12,000. Now that's not to say that they can't sell through this. We've already seen it happen. But even if they're able to push us below 8, we're going to see a ton. We've seen it every almost every day now. We'll see the buying pressure come back in to push us back up. Um, it's just a great opportunity. The way I look at it is, it's a great opportunity to continue to buy at a cheaper price, buy the dip, and because at some point the stock is going to levitate up. It's going to start moving naturally, organically moving upwards, especially as this great news continues to come out. Um, Lisa says, look at NAOV. I did have it up here a second ago and I took it off. See, sometimes when I ignore the stocks, they start taking off. Okay. Hey, so Dan, I don't know if you kept it, if you held on, but I'd imagine you bought up here just, based off what you were saying. That you felt like you got in at the top, but yeah, looks like it's starting to run some more. Your pal Al. Coach B, good morning. Holistic Judith is now your pal Al. Cheers. Okay, okay. All right, Al, what's up? Yeah, I remember, I think you said it in a Tar Heel stream the other day that you were actually Al and you were using your wife's thing. So I'm glad you got your own account. So now I won't forget anymore. Let's see here. Grim the Tooth, what's up? Good morning. Levi says my calls are not having a good time right now. Um, Stars. When CLOV takes off, how will the 2 week notice go? Oh, man. I mean, I don't think I'm going to really, at least not on this next run up. I don't know. It depends how much everybody has, right? But for me, at least, I would imagine that this next run up is going to take us somewhere into the $50 range. Um, and then probably get pushed down again. I don't know how low it'll get pushed down, and I could be totally wrong. We can keep going higher right off the bat. Um, but if we were to only go up to like 50-ish, I'm still working. Um, Now, if we go up to like 300, we'll have to see. We might be having a different conversation. Let's see here. Grim says, "What's up with VIH?" Let's see. I haven't even been looking at it. It hit 9.99 the other day, though. Was that it right here? Yeah, it hit right at like 9.99 the other day, and where else? Right there at 10.01. So it wants it. It's trying. Not a lot of volume in this stock at all, though. But yeah, I just been. I mean, it's there, and if it happens, it happens, right? That's kind of my take on it. But it still has the potential. It just, and you could tell someone's buying it up because it keeps getting right there, and then it comes down. It keeps getting there, and it comes down. It's just trading in this range of like $9.90 to $10. Um, let's see here. SRT. My grandparents used to get us bonds when we were young. Can't wait to spend the next 18 years for this to be worth 100. Yeah, that's my kids have some bonds and people have bought them too in my safe, and it's kind of like I agree. Don't get me wrong. Um, you can't be negative about like a gift someone else has given you or whatever, but I kind of feel the same way. It's like I'd rather put like $100 or something into a long term. I mean, even if you're buying a safe blue chip stock, like again, I always say Disney, but something like that, it's going to be worth more 10 years from now when the kids are getting ready to graduate, when they're turning 18 and all that. And just compound over time. Even if you bought the S&P 500, I mean, whatever it is, over 10 years, that's going to grow much more than like, one of those bonds that doubles or whatever. But I hear you. Christina says options chain loaded up for the 20th. You know what? Yeah, we haven't looked at the option chain. Let's take a look at it. I was waiting earlier just to see what once the new volume got in. So 850 strike is higher than puts. So that means max pain for this week is going to potentially be 8. Okay. Um, we got 15,000 difference here, 23,000 difference here, 15,000 here at 11, and then 1250. Yeah, 30,000. 14 looks pretty loaded up. 15 we already knew was insane. 16. So like every strike is absolutely. So I mean the potential's there, but I mean this just looks a lot similar to what we saw in June. But there's that whole thing, right? The max pain thing, and we've been talking about that and how market makers have the ability, it seems like, to try to do it until they don't, right? I mean they're able to suppress it so long until they can't. I'm pretty sure they would have tried. They would have loved to suppress it in June too, because this was basically the same type of setup. Um, same type of thing that we just saw with AMC on their big run-ups, or GameStop, or any of these stocks. I'm sure. Every day stocks run, and most of them, usually, if a stock's trading for over $5 or so, it usually has options on it too. So, um, they don't always win. Now, coach goes around and tells the students to watch the streams. Nah, I really, I don't know, not too many people like, I don't think any of my coworkers, students, anybody like that even knows that I have the stream going. A couple of them do. More people that I'd like friends that I talk to on a daily basis and stuff, they know, but I don't think any of my coworkers or anyone knows that I have this going on. But let's see. I'm just gonna try to catch up here, guys. I'm not trying to skip over anything. All right, Josh says pull up Vortex. I'll do that right now. And I borrow. Leo, what's up? Good morning. Um, Fred says he linked up with Clover Facebook. Yeah, I'll pull up the Vortex right now and FinTel, all that stuff. Um, Dan says sold an AOV for a 10% profit. Yeah. Oh, they're great. They're vacuuming in here right now. That might be the key to get off. I don't know if this is too loud for you guys or not. Um, Dr. Hussein says, what charting software? Right now, I'm using Webull, only because I'm on my laptop, but typically I use Thinkorswim through TD Ameritrade. I like it. I think the mobile app for it's great. I like the look, the feel of it. It gives you the ability to do so much. But Webull's pretty good too. So I mean, Webull's worth trying out. But I love Thinkorswim. Okay, Matt says the background noise isn't loud at all. Right on. Thanks. So for anyone just joining in, I'm actually in a hotel lobby right now. Uh, so let's see here. Here we go. Here's the Ortex data. Um, all right. So we started today off with 25% short interest, um, 1.6 cost to borrow. That's an increase for sure. And 47 million shares on loan, 95 utilization. If we come down and look at the update, yeah, it looks like 3.3 million net borrowed this morning, which is would be a short interest change of 7%. And cost of borrow starting to rise, average at 3.8 with a high of 8.29. So I know I haven't been talking about Ortex for a while now, but basically the way that works is uh, Ortex gathers data from multiple lenders, and there's a lender out there that's only charging 0.83%. There's one that's charging as high as 8.29, and the average of all these different lenders that they're taking data from is 3.8. iBorrowDesk is all right. So that was yesterday or Friday's data, 1.8 million, and down to 500,000. So it looks like 1.3 million shares have been borrowed today. Also showing a borrow fee of 1.6, but they're taking their data from one uh, broker, is my understanding. All right, let's pull this back up. Just looking around here. Pablo says lots of big buys this morning, at least 3 buys over a million. Yeah, you know what? It was driving me crazy. I don't know if it's just my laptop or what's going on, but I was trying to log into my TRADYTICS account before I jumped on the stream this morning just so I could get access to all that data, and it wouldn't let me log in because usually I could see like block orders and big option sweeps and things like that. Just kind of I have alerts set up on that one, and it's not letting me pull it up. Um, Scotty says I'm okay with the sound. All right, right on, Scotty. I appreciate it. JF says appreciate the effort. Thank you, man. I wouldn't be doing this if you guys weren't coming on to watch either, right? Like, kind of. I know Dan said it earlier, but it really feels like this is family now. Like the same people coming on every morning. I look forward to it. I really look forward to, you know, um, seeing everybody in the chat every day. And so it's one of those things. It's like, man, we're going on vacation. I gotta be able to do my stream in the morning. I can't not do the stream on Monday morning. And so I just try to figure it out. But I wouldn't be doing that if you guys weren't coming in and watching. So thank you guys too. I appreciate the support for real. Um, what's the days to cover? Did someone already do that joke? I don't even. I must not have been watching Tar Heel stream when that happened. But now I even ask them, what's the DTC? But I have no idea, like, where that came from. I missed whatever stream it was when everybody was, but I guess everyone kept asking him, what's the days to cover, um, as a joke, and he was getting frustrated about it or something like that. But I didn't. I missed that actual stream when that happened, but now I even ask him. Um, let's see here. Co-creator says he got to bounce early today. See you all on Tar Heel Blues show at Power Hour. Let's go. All right, co-creator, man. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. I'll be you know what? I don't think today I don't know. My wife will be pissed if I'm sitting there on the phone watching Tar Heel show while we're walking around. Now, if I'm driving home at that time, I'll definitely be listening for sure. Um, We all thought today was going to suck. Hopefully things pick up. Keep picking up those shares. Yeah, Jay Stitt, that's a great. I we're down here at the bottom right now, and I say the bottom like $8. Really, truly believe is our floor, and it's like this is it, right? So if we bounce off of this, I mean, it's not going to take us much to go green on the day, considering I think 822 right where I have the line right now is basically where we closed last week, right on Friday. I think was 822. So I mean, we're not down much, and it's only up to go from here. Is the way I see it. Um, Looks like you got an orange prison suit on in a prison cell. Does it look orange right now? It's actually, you guys know I'm a Niner fan. I got the Niner hoodie on. Uh, that's funny though. Um, let's see. Steve the Baker, what's up, Steve? Thanks for joining in. Faith, what's up? Good morning. Kaiser Sose, I've seen you in here before. Appreciate the amount of effort and time you put into this. Tom, what's up? What's up with the market right now? Everything in my watch list is red. Is this the Afghanistan news? Potentially. I know that's what Michael said earlier too. You know, and I haven't. I mean, I've been out of town all weekend, but I know my wife was kind of reading off some headlines to me yesterday, kind of telling me a little bit about what happened over there. So it could be, but a lot of this stuff too is just like that knee jerk reaction. I mean, how does something that's happening in Afghanistan going to have any sort of effect, let's say, on a stock like CLOV, that in my opinion is a recession proof. It has to do with healthcare and everything else. It's just the market overreacting to news, if that's what it is. Ecom, you missed when someone asked what's the amount of options or something. Blue started looking ticker AMT. I was dying. Everyone was lost. Oh, got you. That's the you're talking about for Tar Heel, yeah. Lisa says my TRADYTICS did the same thing. I put it in my browser line, and it pulled up a prior visit there, and I was able to access it. Okay. See, I don't think I've ever used it on my laptop though, because I was trying to do that too, like see if I can do the auto type where it pulls up. But yeah, it wouldn't let me get in. Um, Kenneth the Niner fan, right on. Uh, Yeah, we're really not. I mean, and I know we're not really getting a big indication of the market right now, too. Looking at GameStop and AMC, I could pull some other tickers up, but just to kind of see, I always look at Disney because I feel like it's one of those. But they just had a huge run, so uh, yeah, it looks like everything's kind of down. Let me pull up my DraftKings. Yeah, DraftKings is getting hammered a little bit too, down 3%. How do you like? I don't see a like button on my YouTube. It's funny because I was giving Tar Heel shit about that. Like I couldn't figure it out on my phone, and then someone explained it. But I think you have to exit the chat, and then you'll see the like button, and you have to re-enter the chat or something like that. Is EdgeX a lit market or dark pool? I believe EdgeX is uh, a lit market. So usually, and I can't pull it up on here, but the level two. But if I look at my Thinkorswim, I can't even get the level two on here. Dan, if you remember, ask tomorrow, and we'll talk about that. It's so hard on my laptop right now, But what we'll do is I'll pull up my level 2 data on my Thinkorswim app, and then it's got the codes where we can go in and look. But I'm pretty sure EdgeX is lit. Um, do you think the short report is behind us now? Yeah, I mean, the short report was kind of BS anyways, right? But it's something for like short sellers to hang on, right? It's those that want to create FUD, those that want to short this stock. It was something for them to kind of like hang their hat on, and that was part of their short thesis. Um, and I think that article that got put out yesterday uh, basically said a lot about what we've already been talking about, like that it was BS, and that here's all these amazing things this company's doing. This is what this stock's worth. But to have that out there now and have an analyst actually covering it in that fashion, um, I think is going to help. And I think potentially we'll see some increased price targets on this stock now in these coming weeks. Um, Last night I was just making notes on like different things that I think could be potential catalysts for us moving forward. Obviously analysts upgraded price targets is going to be one. I don't know that we'll actually see them from everybody though, right? Because some of the other, like I think someone pointed out a while back, like Citi and J.P. Morgan, a couple of the other ones, they're actually really heavy into Humana and United Health. So I wouldn't expect them to, put out a maybe, but they're the ones that have been. I think some of them might even be shorting the stock, from what I remember. That's not. I don't know if that's fact or not. I got to go back and look, but it's like basically. So I don't know if we're going to get an accurate price target from them, but if we start having other analysts initiate coverage or some of these other ones, if we start seeing increased price targets going up in this stock, that might help, greatly in getting other new buyers to come in and say, oh, wow, this stock is worth 20, $30 or whatever. So that could be a potential, catalyst for us, um, including that which kind of goes into that article that just came out. You know, um, the other thing is like with the Clover AI. Um, that in the most recent earnings call, they were talking about how it can now get into these cloud based, and they've made it so that it's going to be easy to put into any cloud based system, and basically like they're setting it up for other health insurers to start taking it on. If all of a sudden they make some announcement that like you know, hey, we've leased out the Clover Assistant software to this health insurer or that health insurer. And once you get some news like that, that could be another potential huge catalyst, I think. Um, Obviously, as we get into like quarter three and quarter four, seeing increased profitability, or seeing profitability. Right now, we want to see revenue increase and get to that profitable stage. So that's another one. But the other big one that L Train threw out on Twitter, we're on this group chat, and he sent me a message, or sent us a message, I should say. And I think it was on LinkedIn. He was just surfing around and saw that CLOV is hiring a director. It's called a stars director. Um, and I think it was LinkedIn. It was something like that. But they have a job posting out there to hire a stars director. And basically, like if you look through the job description, um, it's all about increasing their star rating. Like they're looking to hire a director to manage a team to basically just work on getting their star rating increased. And if they get up to a 4-star rating, I mean, that's huge potential because that actually gets them, I think, like $500 more per life under management. I mean, per month. So I mean, that would make them profitable like now. Like yesterday, the minute that they get that star rating. So, and the company's actively working on doing it. So that's to me more exciting news, and another potential catalyst. Once they get to that 4-star rating. Um, I think that was all I kind of took notes on. I don't know. I was just laying in bed trying to fall asleep and just started writing down all the stuff that was running through my mind. Um, DJ Tardis said, I'm also out of town today. Just stopped by to say, hey, looks like that $8 support is holding despite things being down. Yeah. Did we fall off the chart? Oh, we did. So we're down to 793 right now. But we've done this intraday. The big thing for me is let's get back above 8 and let's close above 8. Um, Ecom says pick up Zev 1250 calls for 820. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about Zev. Let me pull that up. I just don't have. Well, I guess I did have the dry powder this morning, and I spent it on CLOV. But uh, if I I'm gonna be watching Zev closely. I've been reading about him recently. I found a subreddit that was kind of dedicated to him, and I've been kind of looking into it. They do electric vehicles for anyone who's wondering. Earnings, I think, are coming up this week, and they just had some big news last week where the stock jumped, I think, from 6 to 12, and now it's back down to 9. But now earnings coming up could give it another potential. Let's look. I think I'm right. Yeah, 6 upwards in this $12 range, and then now it's back to 9. But with the earnings coming up, could potentially skyrocket from there. So I've been keeping my eye on it. I don't have a position yet. JPM is Chase. They just bought some shares and calls, waiting for their upgrade. Yeah, so that would be that's exactly like now that the stock's low. If they're coming in and buying it, now all of a sudden they release an upgrade and move the price target to something more in line with where it should be. Another potential catalyst. And looks like we're back up to 8 right there, 7.99. I mean, this has been happening. We've been falling right below that $8 mark, kind of touching. I mean, there was one day we touched as low as 760 something, 767, I think, and bounced back and closed the day above 8. But again, to me, it's one of those things where I know this stock, and I know I talked about this in my last video too. In my heart, I know this stock is worth more than $8. If they drive it down to 7, it's cheaper. I think the only time that you got to be concerned is if you're playing options, and that's why everyone says buy shares. You know, I know I play options too, but I have my big position in shares as well. And so when I play options, it's a gamble. And yeah, if my options expire, fine. I went into it knowing that was the case. But one of these days, the stock's going to turn around. So I don't, and I'm only saying this because I'm looking at the chat and I see some little bit of negativity in there, but you just got to look at these dips as an opportunity to get in lower. You know, an opportunity. They're giving you this at a discount. This isn't like other stocks, I guess. Like I'm not saying, oh yeah, like this is gonna squeeze and all this other kind of stuff. We have squeeze potential. We have gamma squeeze potential. But at the end of the day, my mindset is, you're giving me this stock for $8, and this stock is worth 20. The stock is worth 30 now. I mean, that's like a 4 times discount now on what you're able to get it at. Then you have all that other potential, right? And then you even look at, to me, if you really do your research and you look into this stock and see what it can become, this is a triple digit stock down the road. And they're hammering it down and giving it to us for under 8. Shit, yeah, I'll buy more. I bought more today up here, right at the market open, somewhere in this, above 8. And when I get some more dry powder, I'll continue to come in and grab more. Um, let's see. Pat says the floor I've been drawing out has the potential low at 793 today. If it goes below, I take full responsibility and will draw it. uh, should I sell Clove right now? It seems like it's dropping really low. Nah, not at all. I mean, do whatever you want to do. This isn't financial advice, but um, I would imagine we're gonna close above 8. And this is, I'll go back and do this right now. I'm not on my other, but we've been trading down here for a while now, right? And we've only closed below $8 once. All these days right in here where we dip below 8, closed above, dip below 8, closed above, all these days in here, we've seen this. This day it even hit 767. We closed above 8. I would imagine we're going to close above 8 today. That's just my take. Um, you know, do what you want though. Tar Heel Blue said, just turn your phone upside down. I think the best thing to do is add 48 months onto the expiration. Nah, I mean, for me at least, I think you can do, just looking at options. I would definitely go out probably to like January, because that price is in and a whole nother earnings. That gets you into like November earnings too, and it gives you the safety net of, yeah, if there's a gamma squeeze this week, shit, you still got your options for January. That's still far enough out. Um, and if not, I think, is it November or the September? One of the other options chains is super loaded up too. I just don't have everything in front of me because I'm on my laptop right now. But either way, if I was gonna enter into an options position on this, I would go at least out to January. But that's typically how I play options, anyways. Is I like to go like 3 to 6 months out to give myself some time, unless I'm just trying to buy lotto tickets. But that's when you gotta like really, be honest with yourself, right? So like if I wanted to, play this week's gamma squeeze potential, which I think there's a ton of potential here. I mean, yeah, you can go in and buy the $12 call for $5, and that's hella cheap. You buy 10 of those, or no, $4 now. But you go in and buy 10 of those, that's $40, and now you got the movement of 1,000 shares if we run past 12. So if we do gamma squeeze this week and run to 43 or something like that, you're going to be making $3 grand per contract times 10 contracts. You're going to make 30 grand off of $40. But you got to be honest with yourself and know that what's the likelihood of this happening? You know, how much am I willing to lose? You can't, I guess what I'm getting at is, yeah, if you're putting everything you have into August 20th options, then, this price action should be scary, but you shouldn't be putting everything you have into short dated options or into options at all. You just got to know that, like, this is a bet you're making when you're playing those short term chains. I have some August 20th options um, that I bought as a bet that there's going to be a gamma squeeze this week. If the gamma squeeze doesn't happen, that doesn't affect my long term position in Clove. Um, and if you're concerned about your long term position, shut the computer off. Just walk away. This volatility is normal for a highly manipulated stock. If all you're sitting on is shares, I'd say close your computer, turn it back on in 3 months, and you'll be happy you did. Oh, Tar Heel, I know you're in here now, but if you didn't know, this is holistic. Was it holistic Judith? I forgot your old name already, but your pal Al is on. Made his own account now. Ghost, what's up, Ghost? Ghost is in the house today. Rich Sloan, good morning. Leo says, I'll keep selling covered calls on Clove, collect some premiums, and lower my costs. Patience is key. See, And I'm not saying that's a bad strategy, Leo. I know a lot of people do it. Um, I've never sold covered calls on Clove, and I never did it with my GameStop either. And I was talking to a friend of mine about this. Like, if I would have been selling covered calls on GameStop, shit, since January or I think February when I re-entered, I mean, I would have been able to make a killing when IV was high and everything else. Um, but I never did it because I was always afraid, like, what if it takes off and runs? And now I'm getting, so I'm getting my shares taken away. So for me at least, but then you have to have extra cash to do it. What I would do is probably sell puts instead. If I had the option, I'm not doing either one. But if you have the cash, for me at least, instead of selling those covered calls on a stock that has the potential, like Clove has the potential to rip up to 50 this week. So if you sell covered calls, let's say at $20, you're going to miss out on that extra $30 if it happens. So that's kind of one of those risk reward things, right? But otherwise, if it doesn't happen, like it hasn't been happening week after week after week, you're making money collecting premiums on those covered calls. So I get that part of it. But yeah, like for me, if I was going to, do something with writing options right now on Clove, and I already have my Clove position, I already have everything else, I'd probably sell puts. And that way, that's a bullish sentiment play, right? Basically, what you're doing is, let's say you sell like the $7 put. Um, Basically, what's happening is you're collecting that premium. If the stock doesn't finish below 7, you're fine. You just collect the premium and keep moving. And you continue to do that every week. Sell like $7 puts, sell $7 puts. You're just putting money in your pocket. And now, if the stock does drop below 7 and finish below 7 for that week, now you have to buy the stock at 7. And it's like, shit, I'd love to buy the stock at 7. So, but now when you do that, when you sell a cash secure put, you need to have that money on hand, right? So if you were going to sell one cash secure put contract, let's say at $7, you need to have $700 to back it up. Um, so just looking at like this week, maybe even 750. You get like $18 back for every contract you did it at. Um, and if the stock finishes below 750, you get it. You got to buy it. That's why I say it's a bullish play. You're looking to you obviously you already own shares. You want the stock to go up, so you're just selling these puts to people. You're like on the other side. Think of it like a market maker. A market maker um, is selling us calls, right? And we're these calls keep expiring worthless. Well, now you're going to be selling puts to the people that think the stock is going to go down. So you're the guy that wants the stock to go up. Hope that makes sense. You can keep doing that week after week too. What do we think the chances of a run in Zev later this week? I haven't done enough research on it, but I know they have earnings coming up. So um, I'm probably going to try to open a position on this though, pre-earnings. Does anyone know when the earnings are? I want to say it's Wednesday, but I could be totally off. It might be today. I have no idea. I got to get home and get on my computer where I feel a little bit more comfortable looking things up and all that. I get the feeling I'm not doing it all right as it seems. I could be leveraging holding 8,000 plus shares, right? Yeah, I mean, but again, I noticed your previous comment. You said you didn't feel like comfortable. And the last thing you want to do is go mess around with options if you don't feel comfortable with them. Um, Especially if you're like writing stuff against your shares and all that. Like there are ways with your shares that you could be doing, running some of these type of plays where you can collect premiums at the same time. And really, now you take that premium, you can either put money in your pocket or use that premium to purchase more shares. But until you have a good understanding of it, I would say Probably don't, because I don't know. You really want to know what you're doing before you start doing it, I guess. For most of my positions, I feel it can turn off the computer, but with Clove, it can happen so quickly that I feel I have to constantly check. I don't know who your broker is, but the best thing to do, like what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, because me and my family are just going to be kind of like hanging out in Monterey, just set an alert. Like with my TD Ameritrade, I know I could do alerts. With Schwab, I could do alerts. But yeah, if you go in there, you could set an alert up, and let's say like tell it to alert you when we pass 12 or something like that. But um, I know I had said earlier, I don't know if this is going to happen in one day. I could see it being more of like if we're able to close at 9 one day, then rip up to 10 and after hours, then open the next day at 14, like something like that. Like we're now, it could happen in one day, but we would need a shit ton of volume coming through too. But yeah, I would say just, a lot of times it's healthy to do that too. Set an alert on your phone, turn everything off, and then just, you know, go about your business, do what you got to do, kind of put it out of sight, out of mind, and then come look at it later. Dave says, "Be careful because if the squeeze happens, you'll get your shares called away." That's kind of what I was looking at. Like that's why I don't like writing covered calls. Pat says, "I 10 times my investment on June calls with lottos. It's hard not chasing that dragon again." Yeah, not. I mean, me too. That was kind of like, you know, and you just gotta. You have to. There's got to be like some balance though, right? So you don't want your whole position to be options. Obviously, you want to own shares because shares don't expire. Um, but I always leave a little bit of cash to play lotto tickets and to play that type of stuff because I mean, even if you just look, if you went in every week and spent, I think I said something like this on Twitter because somebody was talking about options and everything. But came in here and bought something cheap, like let's just say this. Every week you could buy, 10 calls for $40, right? Like, let's just say. So you spent and you bought $50 worth, every week. So every week you're buying 10 calls on these weeklies. And you're just burning through $50 a week, $50 a week, $50 a week. Um, you know, Even if 20 weeks go by, and that's a long ass time, but in 20 weeks, you finally burnt through $1,000. Um, and then that one week that it happens, those 10 calls are going to pay off probably like 3,000 a piece, 30 grand. And you burn, I mean, and I'm not saying that that's the strategy I would go with, but, um, buying those lotto tickets when you think it has potential, like right now we have gamma squeeze potential, it's worth it. Um, and you just got to go into it knowing that like it's probably not going to happen. Just have that's the mindset I like to have. Well, I'm going to buy them. It's probably not going to happen. And then when it happens, cool. Can you explain covered calls? Yes. So if you own 100 shares, and here I'll go to the options chain. You own 100 shares. Maybe you bought them at you have an $8 cost average, right? So now, if you wanted to sell, here, I'll go out a little bit too. You wanted to sell the October 1st um, $12 strike at 44 cents. Okay, so that means you're going to sell this strike to somebody else. Someone else is going to buy this off you for 44 cents. They're going to pay you $40, essentially, right? Or maybe $50. I'm looking over here. They'll pay you $50. You're going to put that $50 in your pocket. It's yours. You get to keep it right now. It's your money. Okay, but you are now on the hook to sell them this stock for $12, regardless of what happens, by October 1st. So If October 1st rolls around and the stock's trading at 11.50, you don't have to worry about it. You still have your shares and you got to keep that $50. Okay, but now if October 1st rolls around and the stock's trading at 15, your shares are going to get called away from you. They're gonna exercise that contract. They're going to give you $1,200 because you sold them a $12 strike. So they're going to take it for. They're going to give you $12 a share for it. So now you got to keep the $50 and you're getting $1,200, but now your shares are gone. Those 100 shares are gone, and that's why I was saying I don't really want to do covered calls with a stock like Clove or even GameStop, which looks like it's running right now, because then you miss out on the big move. So it's kind of it's a gamble. Pablo says Zev has warrants. Oh, Pablo. Oh, so Zev is aftermarket today. Ooh, so you're telling me I need to buy some now? I'll check it out once we log off. I might check it out and go buy some Zev. Um, Levi says I saw Clove drop to 790, so I liquidated and bought more. Zev reports today. Okay, yeah. As soon as we get off the stream, I might take a. I think it was Ecom that pointed it out, but I might go in there and buy some some lotto tickets on Zev. Went to the aquarium in Monterey in mid-June while visiting my sister-in-law who lives in Berkeley. Good times. Yeah, the aquarium here is nice. I'm staying. I don't know where you stayed when you came, but I'm staying at Portola Plaza. It's a great hotel. We normally stay here. Um, really nice spot. It's more by Fisherman's Wharf, but it's a quick walk down to Cannery Row. This is where we typically stay, and then they had a totally unexpected, but they had a car show going on right outside in the plaza. They usually do like festivals. The Italian festival here is really cool. I think that happens in September every year. But they had a Sotheby's, I think it's called. They had a ton of like classic cars and just they had an auction going on. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we showed up on Sunday. So they were like kind of packing up, but all the cars were still out there. And I was talking to some people. They said some of the cars were going for like 300 grand in the auction. Um, but yeah, it was kind of cool just to see that. And then there was also this magic show that we checked out. I wish I would have wrote down the name of it, but it's right here. If you're ever in Monterey and you go to um, right over here by Portola Plaza, there's this theater that's right there that I've never even really noticed. It's in between Portola Plaza and the wharf, and there's this theater. Dude put on an amazing magic show. It was like an hour and 15 minutes, kind of like a comedy, with some magic tricks and stuff. And my kids loved it. I was entertained. It was really cool. I talked to the dude afterwards, and he actually owns another magic thing in South Lake Tahoe. So he said he has one that happens in South Lake Tahoe and here, and but it was really cool. If you're ever out here, check it out. I guess he just started it about 3 or 4 months ago. Is it possible to set volume alerts, not only price ones? Depends who your broker is. I don't know if I could do volume alerts. I'm gonna check. It's a good question. Nah, with mine it only does price. It just lets me say like, alert me if the price is greater than or less than or equal to, and then you tell it what price you want. If an alert goes off, are you going to set a trailing stop loss or watch close enough all day? Yeah, then I'll just start watch. Then I'll start watching. I'm not going to do a trailing stop loss. For me, I mean, it all depends on the week too, right? Like, so like this week specifically, and I'll reevaluate next week. But because of the option chain this week, if it happens this week, I'm going to be waiting for it to get above 40, which is where the option chain blows out to really then start evaluating what's coming next. Um, if we blow out the chain and start coming back downhill, I'm jumping out at 40. I think I've said that plenty of times. Even if we go up to 50, whatever, if we blow out the chain and start creeping back down, I'm gonna kind of have like my own little mental stop loss at like $40 that like I'm getting out, because we've seen what happens with the reverse gamma squeeze, right? Then it's gonna come back down. It won't come all the way back down to 8, but it'll settle down. Um, a lot lower than $40. Now, I don't want to just sell when we get up there because who knows, with the high short interest in the stock and everything else, we could end up blowing up to 50 and then people start covering and things like that. And this thing could jump higher. And, we could end up seeing as high as 100. I mean, I have no idea. I don't think anybody can tell you that they know exactly how high any of these stocks are going to go once they actually take off. Um, but for me, if it was to be this week, that would be my alert to say, like, oh shit, I need to go get to my computer so I can start figuring this out, right? And then, or if I'm driving, I'm gonna go pull over real quick so I can check this out, because the gamma squeeze happened pretty fast last time too. I mean, it did give us some time, like just to base it off of last times with CLOV. So it shot up to like 25, settled out around 22, and then the next day up to 28, but then um, and so like, I would just, you got to know how you're going to play it. For me, if it happens this week, I'm going to be watching intensely once we get past $40. If it continues to go higher, cool. If it goes up and comes, falling back down hard, I'm jumping out at 40. That's my plan at least. And then I'll rebuy this stock because I do believe in this stock long term. I'll just wait for it to flatten out before reestablishing my position, um, you know, as a long term play. That's the way I'm planning on playing it. I know some other people have talked about exit strategies where they're going to sell a little bit on the way up, and kind of chunk off a little bit. Ghost was talking about, just kind of like getting out smaller chunks. I know he was saying that. I think Lisa was even talking about kind of like, breaking off in like bigger chunks, like 30%. It could have been somebody else, but but I think it is important to kind of have your own exit strategy. Pablo says, I don't write cover calls for the same reason I only do one fantasy football league. Don't like cheering against myself. I remember playing in only one fantasy football league. Those were the days. Hey, I feel like now I'm in like 3 leagues, and it's hard. It's hard to keep up with. It's hard to you know, like you said, you're rooting against yourself every week. Being in one league was absolutely easier. Yeah, I see. Pablo says GME's moving. Yeah. Um, Now GME's got a long way to go before I consider doing anything though. Um, but the way this stock works, if it does get on a nice run, um, and this is my GME exit strategy too. If it gets on a nice run, I'm gonna let it hit 350. If it busts through 350, I'll continue to hold. If it starts falling down off 350, I'm jumping out, because we've seen time and time again, anybody who's in GME, that it hits that wall at 350 and comes falling back down into the hundreds. So if we see that happen again, I'm jumping out when it gets there, um, and then reestablishing my position and waiting. 1 hour candle close, nail biter, but held 8. Yeah, I mean we're trading this champion vibe too. I know I was talking about Target Short Seller earlier. I know Tar Heel's been in here, but you guys check out Champion Vibes channel too. Dude's doing some great TA. He's got some educational videos on there if you want to learn how to analyze stocks. Um, Really fun stuff. He also has a live stream at night where he actually goes through and charts out CLOV and some other stocks and kind of gets if you want to get prepared for like what to expect tomorrow, see where the stock's going. Um, Definitely go check his channel out. Um, Coach, you're right. Sure, there's always risk. I'm doing the wheel with a little portion of my position. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I'm not everybody. This is me. I get scared. Like I don't want to. And in hindsight, like with my GameStop position, I've looked. I should have been selling covered calls on GameStop since I probably would have made more money selling covered calls on GameStop than you know, than I was just making it. Playing the runs and selling and rebuying, playing the runs, selling and rebuying. But it's I don't know, man. I just get scared. I don't want to miss out on the big one, and that's just greed too. Sorry, I'm gonna try to read this div by zero. I don't know how long this is. Got a story to tell you. Short version. Part of the session drama last night. I want to emphasize only had 100 shares. What happened hurt, but it wasn't the end of the world for me. My friend, on the other hand, had a sizable amount in the stock before trading was halted. It was at 592, and when trading resumed, here we go. Trading resumed. It was at 80. Wow. Okay, hold up. Sold the shares for 86. I'm wondering and what your perspective on this. Is this an example of corruption? I asked because I thought when his stock lost like 40, it had to be halted. So, and then I'll go back to the rest of the chat. So basically, I was kind of just reading that in my head. My bad. So basically, it sounds like the stock was trading, up closer to where we at $5, $6 almost. Trading was halted on downward, and then when it came off the halt, it opened up at 86 cents. My first assumption would be that this stock was probably like extremely. I don't know anything about that stock, but that it's probably extremely low float. Um, and a lot of times with these type of stocks, like penny stocks and things like that, they can move violently, depending on what the volume on the day is and everything else. 128 million volume on a stock that normally sees 5 million volume days. That's still pretty crazy, though. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say it's manipulation. It's just everybody trying to get in and out of the stock. That's that drop right there. So what happens is, man, that's crazy. Uh, the way this thing happens is like this. The stock drops more than 10% or gains more than 10%. Now that drop or gain could be higher than 10%. It could jump up 100%. Boom. Now you see a halt 5 minutes so people can get out. But um, man, I don't know how. I mean, if you're doing a stop loss, you're going in as a market order. So I guess if that's where the all the buys were, like if you think about the bid and the ask, if no one is willing to buy unless it's at 70 or 86 cents, like you said, like think about this order book that we're looking at right now. If there was no volume in this order book, and all of a sudden there's only buy orders coming in at 60 cents, 80 cents, that sort of thing, and they're all down here, and there's a ton of people trying to sell, they're going to rip through everything and end up getting to these ones down here. That's why like stop losses like that are really hard. I mean, if you're doing them for like 100 shares or something like that, yeah. But if you have a sizable position, that's why I always like to kind of go in and do place my own orders with like mental stop losses. But I mean, I've been screwed before, but not like that. That's crazy. Um, you know, I guess a lot of times, you want to do like I would always do a limit order, but just when markets are moving like that, you also got want to make sure that you put it in for something you're okay with, right? So let's say the stock's trading at 6, we're in the middle of a halt, a circuit breaker. What are you willing to sell it for? You're probably not going to get 6, so maybe you go in there and put a limit sell order in for like 550, and that's giving you some room. But when you put the market order in, yeah, that's screwed, man. I don't know what to say. Fred says, "Love Monterey. I'm in NorCal. Right on. So am I. What part of NorCal, Fred? Just out of curiosity." Chef says you should add travel section to your channel. Um, Sounds like my buddy who's a magician. Okay. We just did a day trip from Berkeley. Hit the beaches on the way back. Pretty sweet setup. Coach, you were in ATOS, right? Do you think it'll make a move eventually? Yeah. So everything that I was reading and looking at on ATOS to me says that the company has like long-term growth potential, and I know they have some potential catalysts upcoming too. I'm in too many stocks right now, but when you look at this, and we've talked about this before too. Like anytime a stock goes on a nice big run, like think about where ATOS was back here. It was 76 cents. It ran up to 5, came all the way down to $1.40 before making its next big run. Then it made this big run where it went from $1.40 up to $10, and now it's kind of settling out here at 3. So yeah, I mean, I would say somewhere in here. I had originally said that I was going to buy in when it fell below 3, but I just didn't have the dry powder at the time to do it. But if I was going to open up a new position in ATOS, now would kind of be the time. It looks like it's kind of in that stage of consolidation where it's going to eventually. To me, from what I've seen, this is probably more of like a you know $12, $15 stock. But then again, when you're playing pharmaceuticals, anything can happen, right? You get a bad phase 3 results or phase 2 results and things like that come out, and this thing could go down back to being a penny stock, or you know you get those catalysts that come in, and now all of a sudden it shoots up to 15 and goes on another big run. So, but I like ATOS, and I really think that has some potential. I think with COVID, it's doing some stuff with COVID as well, right? With like a spray. I think that was what I remember reading about. And so, anyways, to answer your question, I think it'll go on another run. I think it's just kind of consolidating and getting ready for it. Okay, this Reddit forum seems to think hedge funds sold during the halt. Um, that could be the case too. I mean, if they wiped out, and I know you're gone, Div, so we'll talk about it later. But you know, that's the other shitty thing that we have as retail is we get last access, right? So if you're in a halt, and what order is everything processing in, and that's where market orders are really really scary in those things. Sell limit order at 40, smart exit strategy, yeah. Um, well, Kaiser, I think what he's saying is at 40, like. Well, I was talking about at least. I'm gonna wait and see if we run up. If we don't, now I'm gonna go in and sell at 40. But um, who knows when shorts are gonna start to cover? I mean, I don't know. We have no idea. We really don't. Um, you know, but if we go on a gamma squeeze, like a true gamma squeeze, without any shorts covering, and start to fall back down, I'm not holding this stock all the way back down to $20 or something like that. I'll get out at the top and buy back in at 20. And I've been saying that for a while now. I think everybody should do that. Again, but you got to wait and kind of see. That's where you want to be watching the stock live when it's happening, right? All this other stuff, how we're sitting here kind of watching throughout the day. For me, this is fun. Helps us kind of get through the day, talk about it, talk about other things, whatever. But really, when it's actually happening, you want to be sitting there looking at it so you can kind of figure out, okay. And sometimes you're wrong. I mean, shit, it might pull back down to 40 and I get out thinking like, okay, I want to get in on the next drop, and then it rips up to 100. Um, but if that was to happen too, you could still get back in, right? So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, stock goes to 50, starts tumbling back down, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be holding this thing too long. So when it comes down to 40, I get out. Well, now maybe it touches like 38 and then it rips back up. Well, for me, my new entry point is going to be 50. Yeah, I miss out on all that there, but that's going to be confirmation to me that like this thing's going to keep running. So now as it goes back up, once it crosses 50, now I know, all right, I got out too soon. I'm going to buy back in, and for the next big run up. So that would be my in a nutshell, that's kind of what my strategy is. Obviously, not with those exact numbers, because I would even go as far as to say, like, if we hit as high as 75 on a gamma squeeze right now, you know, where do you get out on the way down? How do you know that it's coming back down? Um, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one too. I'm over here giving this a scenario with just the gamma squeeze potential. If we go up to like 75, 80, 100 on this squeeze, who knows where we can go from there. So that's one I'm going to have to evaluate myself. Lisa says, have an exit strategy before Moon Day, once you have thought out and are comfortable with. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm way behind in the chat, too. All right, Scotty. Catch you later, man. Not sure if I close my eyes and buy Zev or do something like airlines. Um, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't even have any money to throw into anything else. I might try to figure out a way to get some Zev, though, before the day's over, just because I feel like I've been hearing some great things about it, and I could see with potentially good earnings, maybe it'll blow up. But again, if I did do something, it would just be like a lottery ticket. Go in and buy some options. As a matter of fact, let's look at these options because I got to sign off here in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to take a look. So with Zev, and again, these are short dated options that are looking to expire this week. So, you know, if we can come in and just kind of grab something for $10 there, keep in mind that's a big move. That's a 30% move that we'd be banking on happening. Um, but, I mean, maybe even just buying the $10, but then now you're spending more money. I think I'd rather just come in here and buy something like this just to bank on it. If we go out and give us more time, nah. I mean, it really depends what you want to do. If you're playing like a lottery ticket type play, then you come in here and just buy something for $5, $10, and if it loses, it loses. If you were looking to open a position in the stock, I wouldn't go with anything in the August chain. Um, Grim the Tooth says it wasn't corruption. The stock ran up on anticipation of FDA approval. When it didn't get it, everyone sold. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, so I'm assuming you're talking about SESN. Um, but I think the biggest question was like it was in a halt. It went into the halt at 580. It came out of the halt at 86. Or at least that's where he got filled at. Howard says he's got to go. I got to go too, guys, in a second. I'm going to be signing off here in about 5 minutes. Joseph says back to Weeble. Nah, just because I'm on my laptop right now. I'm actually in a hotel lobby doing this. But if you added a stop loss order at 40 and then the price drops overnight below 40, does your order? Nah, no, not at all. So, you know, I think most brokers, you need to have limit orders in after hours. Um, and even then, you have to put like good till canceled on your order. And I don't think you can get stop losses off in after hours. So, um, you know, that's my understanding. That's the way Thinkorswim works. I think that's how most brokers work. Okay, so Fred says he's near Sacramento. All right, Fred. Let's see. Not trying to create uncertainty, but every investment has risks, no matter how profitable and safe it may seem. What do you think are the biggest risks Clove has during its current growth phase? Um, I mean, obviously, like your run of the mill stuff, like corruption, some sort of scandal, anything like that, obviously. But in terms of their them in the stock, I would say like probably like the AI, right? Like, I mean, right now it's working, and they're saying that it's working, and but if I guess something going wrong with that, or maybe like when they tried to do a rollout with it with like another insurer, if all of a sudden things started acting weird, or something of those nature. But I mean, really, outside of that, it would just be kind of like your everyday type stuff, right? Some sort of scandal happens with the CEO, or I mean, otherwise it's a health insurance company, and it's you know. Um, they're going to come across fines when there's misconduct and things like that. But that's also something that Clover Assistant is designed to prevent. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I've read through so many of the bear thesis on the stock, and I don't agree with them. Hey, what's up, Zeke? How's it going? Um, Oh, Rick, we were just talking about a halt on the SESN. It was a question that somebody else had asked previously, and we were just kind of talking about it. And he was wondering because he went into a halt on Friday and came out way down. Um, what's up, Doherty? How's it going? Kaiser says the best scenario is organic growth up to 30, then extend the option change to 100, and now short start to cover. Yeah, and that'll happen regardless, right? So, like, let's say we were to pop today, um, or tomorrow, like on this August 20th. When we run up, if we close the day, let's say at $40 or $50 on Tuesday, the option chain on Wednesday will go to 100. That's just how it works. So now all your monthlies moving forward will be at 100. Um, and then as the weeklies continue to come out, they'll be higher too. And that kind of expands the chain just like that. It'll happen overnight. Um, but yeah, I'd love to see the organic growth too. But right now we can't get any growth. We're just getting like hammered down at this max pain price. Um, Ecom says just shot an email off to S3. Healthcare sector on the short side, asking why they haven't covered this thing. If it goes above 9, we're going to rip. Yeah, I agree with you. Clover at the green. Christo says, Dan, yeah, green for coach signing off. Yeah, I never get green, but I'm getting it today. Looks like I need two pennies. Two pennies. GME's looking good, up 3.8. Wonder, just out of curiosity, we haven't been looking in a while. Oh wow, AMC turned things around too, up almost 6%. So a lot of times, if we see these ones start to take off too, that could kind of be in our favor as well. Um, so we'll just have to wait and see how these things turn out. Um, all right, guys, I'm way behind. I'm just gonna skip past all these. I don't have time to get to anything else. Uh, it's 8 o'clock. I'm getting some text messages coming in. I know we're supposed to go get some breakfast right now and everything else. So thank you guys again for joining. I appreciate it. Tomorrow I'll be in my back at home in the studio, aka my office, and with the microphone, the full setup, I'll have access to everything, and hopefully we'll be able to keep this going a little bit longer. But thank you guys again. I really appreciate the support. I'll try to do a video tonight. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.